All right. Oh, close that. Okay. Hello, fellow YouTubers. Welcome to one of my videos. In this video, I am gonna be talking to you about about the six about the six captains and the six battalions of my fan fiction I made. Um, the Friendship Troopers, the the fan series that I have written. I written I believe three, no at least like four stories um involving the Friendship Troopers, but that there's the two main ones, and then the third one was basically before the audio drama series I made. It's called the the troop the Friendship Troopers, the something. Oh, I think it's I think it's the Dark Times of Equestria, or Equestria Dark Times. I don't know. I'll tell you guys, and I'll put it on there on the screen after I'm done editing this video. All right. So I'm going to be talking to you guys about the six captains and the six battalions. Um, so, well, before I start talking about them, I'll talk about what they were called before. Um, I have changed the battalions' names and from the old ones from the original version. So I'll explain everything as we go along. So the first trooper, well, the first captain is going to be Leston, and as you can see, here's his helmet. He's dark purple, bright purple, and well, definitely that's purple and pink, and his visor's gray and stuff. Um, all right, so this is his full name. His real name is wait, hold on, hopefully. So his name is Captain Leston. His full name is Leston Jest External. Jest, um, Jest, not just, it's Jest. And yeah, he's one of the fictional characters I have created back in I think believe back in 2010. And yeah, so the story goes about him. Okay, so hold on, let me go. All right, so um so Leston's date of birth was March 22nd, 1998, and his birthplace was San Diego, California, USA Earth. So the reason why I put down USA Earth was because um, during in the first story, the Friendship Troopers, um, their enemy known as Jackals had invaded Equestria, and the ponies of Equestria did not know what to do. People. All right. Let me just close my door. My mom's on the phone, so she's gonna be. So as I was saying, so reason why I said was his birthplace was on Earth because he was originally from Earth, and well, So their enemy, known as Jackals, had invaded Equestria, um, destroying their relics and destroying their land, and including their people, ponies. They were even taking capture of griffins and many other creatures. It was making Jackals were making Equestria a living hell for the ponies and every creature. So yeah. So so his status right now is basically KIA. He was killed in action. That was in my third that was my that was in my third story of the Friendship Troopers. Um, that was when the Jackals had returned, and yeah, it was pretty bad. So his final resting place is the Candlelight Gardens in Equestria. Like I said, he's not originally from Equestria, but the Equestrians basically uh, confirm him and his other fellow humans as their allies, as their friends. So yeah. So and the cause of death was basically he went down with his ship known as Gazing Star, and reason why he went down with his ship was because he stayed behind because the Jackal's battleship, was too busy firing their ship, and the escape pods and the dropships won't even be able to get out in time with that with the enemy ship showing all over the place and also showing at the everything that the Gazing Star dropped. So Leston stayed behind. He went on a turn and started firing at the at the at the enemy ship. And six noble troopers stayed behind with him to help him out, and causing and so that way the rest of his men and his friends and his family can escape, and and they did, which was good, but insulting the and when the ship was getting assaulted on, it burst in flames and busted in half and fell into the Everfree Forest. Yeah, if you guys want, I will. If you guys want, I will read the rest of that story if you want me to on my channel. If you do, just let me know in the comments down there below. All right. So let's talk about the battalion. So Captain Lesson's battalion is known as was used to be known as the Sparkle Battalion, but I started to think the Sparkle Battalion was a little bit too sparkly. So I decided to change their names to the Home Front. Reason why we call them the Home Front was because they're originally they're because their military is basically their branch is basically in the in Ponyville where the French troopers originated, and that's basically where the humans basically came from because there was a portal that came to Ponyville, and yeah, they were there ever since. So yeah, it's a battalion known as the Home Front, similar to a National Guard. Reason why they're similar to the National Guard is because they save and protect ponies from natural disasters and also from enemy encounters. They're not really soldiers of war technically. I mean they are basically still part of the they're basically still part of the military, but you know they basically stay with the they basically stay with their they basically help mostly during natural disasters or if an enemy goes into the borderlines and start making mischief and stuff. So yeah, um, they usually help evacuate villages and cities, and um, their hometown is is Ponyville, like I said, Equestria. Every trooper has different designs on their armor and helmets to identify them, since they don't have numbers. So in the friendship troopers are basically a so what basically encouraged me to write the friendship troopers is basically I really love Star Wars and My Little Pony, so I put them together kind of. And most of the troopers in Star Wars are all just numbers, and including basically in real life, our soldiers. Some of our soldiers are basically known with numbers too on their tags, on their dog tags. And before I go any further, a shout out to our military friends that are serving the military. Thank you for your service. I am I am very grateful for everything that you're doing for our country and our people, and I hope, and I really hope that you guys are having the best 4th of July. Well, technically 4th of July was yesterday, but I hope you guys had a best 4th of July. So yeah, yeah. So every so what so their designs basically identify who they are and stuff, which was very difficult kind of, especially when I'm drawing, because you could only draw so much of designs. It's crazy. so I just try to like draw the designs like I sometimes make some designs the same, but I try to make them not look the same at the same time, so no one knows what's going on. They'll be like, "Oh wait, no, wait, did that guy just die? No, it's that guy. Wait, what? No, wait, no, no, that guy went that way. No, that guy went that way. Wait, what?" So that way no one gets confused. But yeah, so the home front has purple armor with pink designs. Um, the purple and the pink specifies the strength and it specify the strong and the brave. So damn thing. Yeah, sorry guys. I'm not really used to using laptops. Oh, oh. I usually put something down there. Well, since since I didn't put the color there, I believe the strong is basically purple and brave is pink. I believe. Uh, all right, let's get to our next trooper. Um, Captain Nixon. All right, I'll show you guys. So this is Captain Nixon's helmet. Um, he has green, red, orange. Well, his armor is orange with red, green, and with a gray visor. Well, they all have gray visors, so yeah. All right, Captain Nixon, otherwise known as Nixon Hangs Johnson. He birth date was July 29th, and in 1997. 1997, yes, and his birthplace was in Phoenix, Arizona, USA, Earth. And like I said, he's originally from Earth, not from Equestria, so that's the reason why I had to put USA Earth on there, because Earth has a bunch of other countries in there, and yeah. So yeah, and his status is alive. He is alive. Um, well, he he was alive, but I'll I'll explain shortly after I'm done explaining everything. So yeah. Um, well, technically, I would not explain that, because that will basically ruin the audio series. So I'll keep that quiet. So yeah, so here's the battalion. So Nixon's Captain Nixon's battalion is known as the Apple Marines, and and they were basically originally called the Apple Battalion, but I decided to put down the battalion and put down the battalion and put up the Marines instead, um, because because the Apple Marines basically sound a little bit better than Apple Battalion in a way, because I don't know, saying Apple Battalion just kind of sounds a little demeaning to me, kind of. So yeah. They are basically the strongest battalion in the military. One every soldier in that battalion is capable to lift 10 object if he wanted to, he or she. Um, so uh, what goes on is basically it was basically they were trained to lift heavy objects because because in Equestria there's no machinery, there's no heavy machinery, there's no bulldozers or anything. So the Apple Marines need their broad strength to get through the certain obstacles in their path, a like a like a big rubble, like all the boulders blocking their entrance. All they had to do is lift up the boulders at one at a time, and then boom, they're through. Sometimes they usually just punch their way through. So yeah. Um, the rookies of the Ep battalion has to go through the toughest training. Basically, the toughest training they have to go through is basically they have to they have to they have to run basically 60 miles, which is basically impossible for some people. Basically, like I said, it's a fan fiction, so it can't be real, right? So yeah. So in the story, they run 60 miles. They basically lift basically weights that are twice their size, and sometimes they have to walk through the hottest days without water for at least a day, and usually how they still survive, they usually drink their own sweat, which was kind of nasty, but hey, you gotta do what it do to survive. So yeah. So yeah, their armor and their helmets are all orange with green and red designs, and each design represents honor, courage, and bravery. So honor is basically green, and red is courage and bravery. Um, so yeah. All right, let's get down to the other guy. All right, Captain Saber. So let's get to Captain Saber. Uh, so Captain Saber is the is the captain of the Rainbow Battalion, um, or also known as the Equestrian Air Force as well. Um, but their main name of the battalion is basically the Rainbow Battalion. Um, when they were first introduced, they were still called the Rainbow Battalion. I just kept the name of the battalion because it was much more simpler and I didn't have to think more. So yeah. Um, as you see, his design is a little bit wicked. He has two lightning bolts on his cheeks of his helmet. I think that's what you call it. I have no idea. So yeah, and and then he has red teeth all around his top of his helmet, and his armor is blue. All right. So Captain Saber, his full name is Saber June. Um, my fun, my fun. He is my favorite character that I have created. He is the funniest and the goofiest. Well, besides Mike, but I'll talk about Mike later. And the funniest character. And he also has the Hawaiian accent. He's this is basically what he sounds like. Yeah, bruh, let's do this. Ho ho ho, gnarly, dude. Oh yeah, let's punch this shark into the nose. And that's usually his catchphrase. Punch the shark in the nose. I don't know. It just seemed like him at the time. Every time when they fight their enemies, he talks to his troops. All right, troops, let's punch these socks in their in their noses or something. uh, yeah. So his birthplace is Honolulu, Hawaii, USA, Earth, and he was from and he was born on February 11th, 1998. And fun fact about Saber and Leston and Saber were the bestest friends. Even before they even came to Equestria, um, they were basically like brothers. So after Saber knew about his death, he basically was really upset about it. All right, all right. His status is alive. All right. So the battalion, so the name, so the Saber's battalion is known as the Rainbow Battalion. The Rainbow Battalion are basically the fastest troopers in the military, and reason why they're the fastest is basically they go through a bunch of training that make them go fast, and not only that, they also they um, they basically are basically very light on their feet as well. That's what causes them to go fast. Their armor is not heavy like the others. Their armor is basically very light, kind of like titanium. Tough but light. So yeah, they fight with two blasters and blades. Their armor that was basically equipped with the armor. Their two blasters are basically two magnums, and their blades are basically two machetes in a way. They're pretty big. Yeah, and their helmets and their armor and their helmets are basically blue, red, and yellow. So red. So basically, the designs. The red means courage and bravery. And hold on. No, I dumped that out. God damn. I hate it every time when my parents just basically barge in anytime they want and just ruins my video. It's crazy. All right. So as I was saying, their 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 designs. Red means courage and bravery, and yellow means fearlessness. or fearless. Um, because the Rainbow Battalion basically does what okay, I'm gonna move this over here. Okay, so the Rainbow Battalion uh basically uh basically does things that no one else does. That's what makes them fearless. Um, they are basically the ones that were basically brave enough to go behind enemy lines and also behind well, what to say, behind the changeling lines. If you guys don't know what a changeling is, changeling is a well, this was before they became good guys. Um, so I made this series before the changelings became good guys. They were still they were still evil at the time. They were black buggy thingies that steal love from you. Literally, they'll suck the love way out of you. It's kind of like sucking your soul out of you, but well, I can't say less creepy because it was very creepy. So, yeah. Um, it was basically very dangerous, and you would basically know how dangerous it was um, when when the when I started unleashing my series, the Friendship Troopers, the Harmony War. So yeah, all right, let's go down. Oh, all right, Captain Jack. Here's Captain Jack's helmet. He's a white. He has a white helmet with blue and purple markings. Um, and as you could see, their helmets are basically different shapes too. I also made their helmets different shapes, so that way you could specify which battalion they're from. So Captain Jack, his full name is Jack Owen Dowell, and he was born on September 13th, 1998. His birthplace was London, England, Earth, and so he's basically one of my one of my second favorite characters, favorite captains in my story. He basically he's basically the captain of the battalion known as the Foraging Troopers. And what foraging means is basically making things out of scrap and stuff. Like a twig and a rock, and you just wrap it around with a string, and boom, you got a hammer or something like that. That's basically foraging. Before they became the Foraging Troopers, they were known as the Rarity Battalion. Um, I I After the first story, I kind of reviewed my first story and went back and reviewed it again. And then I decided to change the Rarity Battalion to the Foraging Troopers because Foraging Troopers is basically more what to say more more something. I can't remember. What I was more. Well, let's just say it sounds more outstanding than the Rarity Battalion. So they're basically the troopers that actually can forge anything out of anything. Like they can make anything from trees, sand, dirt, mud, leaves, clouds, rocks, wood. That's it. Wood, metal, crystals, Even water. They'll even make something out of water, which is which is basically impossible. But hey, they're in a realm of magic. So technically, anything could be possible if they use magic. So which is true. They use a magical crystal that's in their armor to forge, but but it does not just take a magical crystal just to forge things. They need to think it. They need to think what it looks like in their heads. They had to think how big it's going to be. They had to think every about every corner of the object they're making, and they had to think about the length and the width of every single object, which is pretty hard. So they had to go through executive training to learn about this. Um, so also they could make their own weapons if they wanted to for when they start defending for defense or when they're basically in a battle, which means they would never run out of ammunition, which is pretty cool. A military that never runs out of ammunition. Now that's something. like like reason why I did that was because I was basically inspired about about the the revolutionary war. um I was inspired by that because when the townspeople started running out of ammo when they were fighting the British, they used basically anything they could find and shove them in their guns and used them as ammo too. They basically also threw stuff at them too, which was pretty funny. um, I got a banana. Ah! uh, I could literally just see that a soldier just running out of ammo, grabbing a freaking banana and just throwing a banana at their enemy. Then their enemy will just be like confused. I mean, literally, I will be laughing my ass off if I just see the enemy so confused. Like, what? Is this fruit warfare now? uh, okay, everyone, grab your weapons. It's fruit warfare. Grab your apples, grab your pears, grab your pineapples, grab your pomegranates. Throw them. It's a food fight. It's a food warfare. It's a food warfare. uh, oh man, that would be actually be fun. It just basically doesn't turn into like a life or death situation. Just becomes a food warfare and be like, okay, well, at least we don't have to kill anybody. Let's just throw our pineapples or watermelons. A worst case scenario, someone gets. uh, 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 I'm gonna edit that out. Um. Yeah, that I'm gonna edit that one out. Yeah, no. I have a bunch. I have most of my subscribers will basically unsubscribe to me after I said that because apparently you can't have any any jokes anymore because hey you will basically offend someone and then you basically will get and then you basically probably get demonetized. Can't say anything anymore. All right. So, so the color of their markings are basically purple and blue, like I said before. Um, Purple is basically ethical, and blue is kindness. Ethical is basically another word for basically smart and amazing. And kindness, you all should know what kindness means. If not, what's wrong with you? All right, let's get to our next Oh yeah, the Pinky Battalion. All right. So this is Captain Mike. He's pink. He has a pink armor and blue design. Okay. Captain Mike. Full name Michael Kyler O'Neill. Favorite character. Most favorite character I ever created. He's the funniest. He is the funniest top dog I ever created. And he was also the first person, the first character I made in one of my original stories I have created. I mean, the original story I have created. Um, I did not publish that. I did not publish that story, and I did not make that story an audio thing. So, if you guys want me to make that story with Michael in it, um, with Michael in it, please let me know, because I'll be very happy to do it. But first things first, I need to find that book. So, yeah, his birthplace was Willow, Alaska, Earth. So, Captain Mike Captain Mike's battalion is basically known as the Pink Battalion, and they were basically called the Pink Battalion in the beginning. I didn't even change it because basically, technically, in the show, Pinkie Pie is basically the most scariest and creepiest pony that you ever will ever get her mad. You'll be so afraid of her if she's freaking angry, man. That's the reason why I just kept Pinky Battalion. If you guys watch the show My Little Pony, you will understand. I mean, once you piss her off, you better run for the hills. I would beg for mercy. I mean, shit, I would. I would literally just go on my knees and beg for mercy. I mean, holy cow. I mean, worst case scenario, she'll just throw cake at you. And that's basically that is basically the most gentle that's basically the most gentle thing of Pinkie Pie. But worst case scenario, I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to relive Smile HD. No, 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 no. Nope, nope. Get out of your head, Larry. No. If you guys did not see Smile HD, please don't watch it. You would be freaking scarred. Holy cow. It's freaking glory, too. Ugh. It has a bunch of blood and guts in it. It's basically, you don't want to see it. Unless if you're very brave enough, go ahead, by all means. Um, the video, Smile HD is basically created by this guy named Dave Davy or something. I don't know. So yeah. So the Pink Battalion, they're basically the most clever troopers. Um, they basically are trained to have photographic memory, and they have to have photographic memory in order to be part of the battalion. Because if not, they will have to be escorted to a different battalion. Um, and they are really great demolition experts too, which means explosions. Yeah, explosion, baby. Yeah. If you guys didn't know that reference, please look that up. Oh yeah, baby, kaboom. Now that's Treasure Planet reference right there. Okay. So they basically have shotgun blasters and 8 millimeter blaster pistols. Reason why I gave them shotgun blasters because they seem a little bit more interesting with shotgun blasters. Because come on, shotguns are awesome. I mean, literally, if you see like a person with a shotgun, I mean, if you're basically holding a shotgun, you basically will feel like a badass. You basically will feel like a a bad mamma jamma while holding that thing. I mean, holy cow. So yeah, and they have their armors and their armor and their helmets are basically pink with blue designs, and blue is basically represents kindness. All right, come on. All right, and now we have Captain Ken's. Captain Ken's is basically the captain of the tracking troopers. Um, their 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 armor is basically yellow with lime green markings. So Captain Ken's, or aka his full name is basically Kenny, Kenny Cardinal James. He was born April 27th, 1998. His birthplace was Bolingbrook, Illinois, USA, Earth. And the reason why I want to put Bolingbrook in there was because well, I just want to put Illinois. Illinois is basically always I would say basically a state, and I should know I live in Illinois. Illinois isn't really the greatest state ever to live in. Um, Mostly because a bunch of potholes, the weather. I mean, literally, the mother nature is basically biased in this state. At one point it snows, at one point it rains, and it's daylight, then it snows again, and then yada yada yada. But I'm glad that we moved down a little bit south in Illinois. All we get is basically rain and humid weather, which I don't mind humid weather. I really love the warm, so that's okay with me. I love the warm. I love the heat. It's better than the cold. Because I'm cold blooded. Because I need heat. I need heat. So I'm cold blooded. uh, so Captain Kent is basically the captain of the of the of the Jacker Troopers. Um, they were when they first came out. They were originally called the Flutter Battalion, but I decided to drop that and put Tractor Troopers in there because it just seems a little bit more. I don't know, a little bit more less, a little bit more less. I don't know, pink and rainbow. Uh, it just you know this didn't seem right. Didn't even sound right calling them the Flutter Battalion. So I decided to call them the Tractor Troopers. So Captain Kenny, or aka Captain Ken's battalion, they're basically their colors. They don't basically I say don't let their colors fool you. Um, their colors do stand out, but they don't really need camouflage to to uh, um to basically to track or to hide. Um, if they are tracking enemies um or hostages, they basically use the wildlife by communicating with them, which means training with animals, which is basically sometimes very hard to do. Um, they had to be they had to talk. Well, not basically talk talk. I mean, they're not going to reply back, but they'll know what their animals are. But the animals will basically understand them once they clear their mind and talk to them very very gently, like, hey, can you hey little buddy, can you help me out, help me and my guys out, and find this crazy lunatic for me on the other side of the force. And then and then they'll be very helpful. Um, they could basically run with birds, run with wolves, run with bears, run with cheetahs. Oh my! So yeah. Um, basically, they can basically can do a lot of tracking, and how they basically hide is basically they use the trees. Um, since basically mostly around autumn is basically is the best season of the year for them, because they could just basically blend in with the leaves. So they do have some sort of camouflage, but yeah, they mostly stay up in the trees. And if you guys ever watched Naruto back in the day, Naruto was the bomb. Naruto was the best anime show I ever watched. So when you saw the Naruto, they just basically travel across the trees, jumping tree to tree like squirrels. That's basically how the tractor troopers get through. So basically, when there's ever forests or mountains, you know there's gonna be a tractor trooper somewhere in the area. And so the green design basically represents honor, and yeah, basically that's basically all the battalion. That's basically the 6 battalions and the 6 captains. Well, 5 captains. Well, I'll say 6 because lesson needs to be included, even though he's gone. So yeah. But once I released my my Friendship Troopers the Harmony War series, you will see what's going on and stuff. You'll basically know more. So yeah. So basically that's basically it. Hope you liked this video. If you do, please put a like. If you have any questions or concerns, please comment down there below. If you want to see more of my videos in the description, yeah. If you want to see more of my videos in the future, please subscribe. This is Larry, and I'm out. Okay, how do I? Sorry guys, I'm kind of new to this. All right. There you go.